Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is me going with Cube 4 of the weekly contest 292. Check if there is a valid parentheses string path. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem. So today's problem, or this problem, well, first of all, there's a lot of issues in Leetcode. So if you watch it live later, the video just cut a little bit weirdly. Like, there's no problem about it. Let me know up in the comments how the contest affected you. But that said, this is actually a cute problem. The first thing I did on this one is to look at the constraints, right? So M and N, or R and C as I would like to call them. I hate M and N in general because I just don't like it. R and C is more self-descriptive of row and columns, right? So it's going to be about 100 or 100 square is the number of spaces. That's about 10,000. So then now I think, okay, if we have a 100 cube algorithm, will be fast enough. And it turns out that, the way that I think about this problem is that, and this kind of draws back to when you solve like a regular, you're given you're given a string of parentheses. Is it valid, right? So then one way to do it is with using a stack, but another way is just, now that the stack, because there's only two ways to go, you could represent the stack by the number, right, which is the number of open left parentheses. And of course you cannot go negative because then that means that you have too many closed parentheses, and then from that on is just about going through the cases. And that's basically what I did here. My states here is XY, which should be self-explanatory. C is you go to the number of unmatched open parentheses. So that's going to be my state, and that should be fast enough. So basically, I just go exhaustively search everything and then cache that based on this. So a couple of things that I want to talk about. I mean, I think this part is actually, once that you know that this is what you're supposed to do, it becomes, I think, just straightforward in the sense that you just have to think about, okay, what is happening in every case, because I'm brute forcing really, and that's basically the idea. And here this is something that I only do because it's Leetcode, and only because I know that this would save me a lot of time going. This would save me a lot of time because it uses the sum of execution time, and what I mean by that is that each test case's running time can affect whether your entire problem time limit exceeded. So having this just allows me to save some time. It's a little bit silly, but it is what it is. And then here I start off by going from upper left to XY, and with 0 open parentheses. And we're trying to get to the right, bottom right. So this is the base case where we have 1 open parentheses left, because we already checked that the last case is going to be a closed parentheses, because if it's not closed, then you're not going to get it. And therefore, if you have 1 left, then you return true. And that's basically my base case. Otherwise, we just take a look. If the current grid space isn't open, then we try to go. Again, in this problem, you can only go down and right here, right? So then we go, okay, can I go down with 1 more open parent? Can I go right to with one more open parent, right? And if either of these cases are true, we return true. Keeping in mind that I write it specifically this way so that there's early termination. Also, just like a minor optimization, because you don't want to, if you don't have to, you don't want to go both directions, right? And if it's a closed parentheses, we check, okay, if there's no open parentheses to match, we return false, because that means that we have negative parentheses, so that's not, no bueno, no good, right? Otherwise, same thing. We go down with 1 fewer open parentheses. We go right with 1 more open, or 1 less, or 1 fewer open parentheses, and see if that's good. Otherwise, we return false, and that's pretty much it. So there are a couple of things we can add here as well. I didn't do some optimizations that I actually, in my mind, I thought I did it, but now that I look at the code, I did not. One is that, for example, the longest path, right? What's the longest path? The longest path is going to be 100 down and 100 right. So that means that C is going to be 200. But of course, but of course that means that because C to be able to reach C is equal to 0 effectively, or 1 if you want to say. That means that C can only go up to 100 or 101. Probably just 100 to be honest, but I always like to fudge a little bit just so I'm wrong. So that means that I can, maybe if I do something like if C is greater than 101, we return false because there's not enough spaces to go back. And actually in theory, you would do something like maybe max is equal to R plus C or something like that, and then you do max over 2 or something like that, right? So this allows you to remove some branching. So that's just like one minor optimization that I thought I did in my head, but it turns out I didn't. But anyway, it's not necessary. So yeah, another thing that I thought about, and actually I get this a lot in an unrelated context, which is that what is the difference between bottoms up and tops down, right? And here is a good example of something that is actually better something that is better tops down than bottoms up. And the reason is because there are a lot of unreachable states, right? Because for example, there are a lot of states where maybe we don't do this, C will be negative. So then if C is negative, then you don't want to count out in those states. And if you do bottoms up, you may be going to unreachable states because it's impossible to get to those states. Because for example, if you do something like, if you try to update X, let's say like maybe a naive one is, and you can definitely write in a way such that this isn't true, but maybe if you do like a 2, 5, and like 100 over parentheses, right? Obviously, this is not a reachable state, but if you don't write your bottoms up carefully, you may evaluate that state. Of course, in the big O notation, it's still going to be the same, but it makes your code faster in general per test case. And of course, in Leetcode, that actually matters. The only thing that it comes at a cost is that there's stack space, there's stack, function core cost, which in Python can be massive. But I think they're a little bit more lenient today, so that was actually good. But yeah, so let's go over the complexity here really quickly. So people ask me how to kind of analyze these, right? And the easy way to analyze dynamic program or memorization is just total time is equal to a easy formula of number of inputs times time per input, right? And you could kind of figure out, that's how it works, right? Because time per input is literally time over input. And number of inputs is just the number of inputs. So then the input cancels out and you get time. This is very, unit analysis if you like. And therefore, let's figure it out. Number of inputs is equal to X, which can go for the number of inputs. X can go from 0 to R. Y can go from 0 to C. And small c can go from 0 to R plus C, right? As we said, the longest length is going to be R, going R once and then going C all the way once, right? And this is, of course, so that means that this complexity is going to be O times C times R plus C, right? And that's your number of inputs. And in terms of time per input, well, if you look at this just everything does O of 1 because we only make 2 cores at most and something like that in some if statements. So this is going to be O of 1. And therefore, if you multiply these things together, you get O of R times C times R plus C. And of course, if you want to be precise on the math, at least on my back of the envelope math, it's going to be 100 times 100 times 200-ish. And that's going to be 2 mil, and that's going to be fast enough. At least you hope so, because Leetcode and Python sometimes, who knows. But yeah. That's pretty much all I have for this one. Like I said, there's some if statements in the beginning, but otherwise this is just going for the cases of, so this was pretty straightforward for me. You could watch me sub it live during the contest next. I made some silly mistake with some off by ones, but for the most part, the idea was pretty good. And of course, the contest was, there's an outage during the contest, so you may have to check that out. But yeah. Cool. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. You can watch me sub it live during the contest next. Oops. Let's see. Check with the round parentheses graph. Okay, so it's something basically This is a good problem. M times n is equal to 10,000. Okay. So basically the 10,000 nodes, each one could be... I mean, I think in theory, can you go backwards or just only down or right? Okay. Actually, that makes it pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, still doesn't work, but okay. It's just dp on the states. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I mean, this may time out actually, but because who knows how fast Python is anymore, but it should be good. Go 0 0 0. Okay. Okay, and then now basically we want to add if I, then yeah, we if go of x plus 1 to the r and to the 1, then return true. Right. If y plus 1 and true. Okay, else then is a negative grid. If c is equal to 0, then we return false. Otherwise, if x plus 1, same thing here, except for a minus, I suppose. Otherwise, return false. This should be good. I mean, it may be too slow. It's 100 cube. Maybe 100 times 500 cube. So it should be fast enough though. So let's oh, I mean that's fine, right? That's like so silly. Like I said, like there are probably some minor things. I probably could have also randomed it locally, to be honest, for testing, especially given the time that we have. But maybe that's fine. And this is wrong. Maybe I have a typo. Why is this false? Maybe I don't know how to solve this, but nonetheless, I mean, I know how to, I think this is roughly right, but maybe I have a typo somewhere. This is impossible to debug though. I thought, oh, whoops. This should be X. So I do have a lot of typos, not gonna lie. But obviously, I don't think these typos are kind of like, I think my that'd be fun. Oh, yeah, well. Like I think I have the ideas right, even if, you know, even if it's not quite right. 4 and 1. Oh, this one's wrong, huh? I mean, like I said, there's definitely debugging, but like most of the code should be written. Though maybe I'm wrong, like I said. So this is a weird contest. How am I getting this wrong? So this is good. Otherwise, just return false, right? Yep, should be okay. Otherwise, So c is equal to 0 is true. Yep, should be okay. Maybe it's a good thing that we don't count this then. Oh, and this should be append. Maybe it's good that I did not get this, or like this isn't a thing. But that's just like minor syntax thing. That said, I should still get it. So 6160. What am I missing on this one? Oh, it's round down. That's silly. I actually did this optimization, but it turns out that this optimization actually breaks it. That's funny. But also that's like a easy fix, right? Like if we had a thing. That's a lot of stupidness on my part, actually. How do I fix this one, though? What am I doing wrong? Am I doing something weird? Oh, because I'm not counting the final thing, so yeah. Okay. I am just dumb. So this should be 1, exactly. And then we can do something like if grid 0, 0 is equal to we just for like saving time, I think, because I don't know. Because Leetcode is silly. Is that right? Nope. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe because this is not the same as Y. Oh no. 709, right? 4, 4. Did I get the other one right? The other one is 2, 2, 2, 3. The reason is because we need this to be dp of x is equal to dp of x plus or minus 1, right, for one number. I think maybe I'm off by something here. So, it's very tough to go back and forth on this though. For me. Okay, so yeah, so we do this first, and then yeah, okay. I think this is right. 0 and then minus 1. Also, this should be, this is wrong, this should be this. Oh, look, that got accepted. So that was an easy fix. Let's give it a submit. Is that right? Nope. I have a weird typo somewhere. Maybe. Let's see. So maybe I wouldn't have done well, but alright, I just print the DP. We should at least get the example. I mean, this is gonna be so long, and this is such an easy thing. I just had a silly mistake, but and then now we're testing again. Let's see. I mean, I know what I'm doing wrong, but this has been a weird contest. So this, we break. Okay, and then yeah. I think this overlaps it. Maybe that's why. But no, I think this should be right. 0 x minus 1. Yeah, okay. I think the index are finally right, but And yeah, the running the things is a little bit slow. I don't think this will count, right? I mean, this is a little bit silly. I was looking at the China side, and China side is up. But yeah. Okay, so that fixes it for this one, but not for the big number. Well, this goes. Is this after we fix it? I don't actually know if this is after we fixed it. Like, it just takes so long to debug, you know? Check on the Warriors game. They're up by 26. That should be confident. So yeah, I mean, I know how to do this one, but clearly, I'm off by 1. So if this is 0, should be good. X minus 1, X, so if this is 0. Am I confusing 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I mean, that looks okay. I mean, also it's only 2, so this should work. Like there's no 7 or 9 thing, even though that's a very easy typo. Let's take away the mod for a second. I'm just working on the assumptions that I'm not really rushing it because I'm working on the assumptions that the contests don't count. So we'll see how that goes. Sorry if this video is jumping all over the place because, well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Actually keep these up just in case. I should have done it because, you know, for my video later. Okay, so this is. So what I'm doing now is just checking on the numbers to see whether maybe I'm off by 1 somewhere. And my number is way bigger, so maybe this should be -1. Maybe that's why. Because it should be 1, 2. Maybe I just miscounted because 3 includes itself. So yeah, so okay, so see now that we look at this, and then we can bring back the mod, and then that's actually, if they didn't give me the test case, I probably would have messed up. Or I mean, it just took long because I have no way of knowing what the answer should be. But I'm gonna submit it after this. It's just that this is so slow. I mean, this was this could have been a fun contest. I feel like I could have speed ran this one, even though, I mean, it's tough to go back and forth, but that'd be funny if I still messed up though. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord, especially if you want to chat about these problems. Obviously today's a little bit weird, the video format, just because of the server having issues, but hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. Take care. Bye bye.